Hey y'all, Anna with Mad Banana Marketing here. Let's get into our Back to the Basics marketing series. Welcome to our Back to the Basics series. If you're starting a business, growing your side hustle, managing a franchise, or just suddenly realizing that you're responsible for way more than you expected, congratulations. This series is for you. You might relate if you've worked in corporate America for most of your career. You're now pivoting into starting a business. Maybe you've always had a side gig and want to take it more seriously. You're used to working for somebody else and now you're working for yourself. You bought a franchise or joined the family biz, or maybe you're starting a project with your friend. When you run a business, there's a lot that you have to learn. And honestly, there's a lot you're kind of expected to just know, especially when it comes to marketing. Maybe you have a marketing background, you might be trendy and just keep up with social media, or you might have absolutely nowhere to start, or know where to best spend your time and resources. Either way, totally okay. When it comes to your website, SEO, social media, emails, ads, and all of the other fun digital marketing pieces, there are some basics that can really help boost your online presence when they're done correctly. That's the most important part. Some of this might be obvious to some people and completely new to others. So we wanted to create a series that goes back to the basics of marketing your business. No dumb questions here, I promise. There's no topic that's too obvious, just helpful information no matter what stage you're in. So we've got a lot to cover in this series, but in this episode, let's dive into some marketing basics. Okay, so traditional versus digital marketing. Traditional marketing usually refers to marketing that happens outside of the digital space. That could be things like print ads, mailers, flyers, billboards, radios, sponsorships, local events, or most likely what you're thinking of is networking. Digital marketing refers to everything that happens online. Think website, SEO, social media, email marketing, Google and paid ads, online directories, and the other ways people find or interact with your business in the digital realm. Our expertise here at Mad Banana Marketing lies mostly with digital marketing, so that's what we'll talk about mostly in this series. But we do have a few tips and tricks on the traditional side that we'll pass along the way. Within digital marketing, there are two main types we want to talk about in this episode: organic marketing and inorganic marketing. Inorganic, aka paid marketing. This is going to help us build out the foundation for our later episodes as well. So, what does organic marketing mean? Organic marketing is anything you're not directly paying a platform for in order to get in front of people. But don't confuse this for free. For example, SEO, aka search engine optimization, is an organic activity, but you might have to pay an SEO agency, like us, to manage your SEO. Posting social media is technically free, but you might want to pay an agency to post or strategize or create the content for you. So organic does not always necessarily mean free. It means that you're not directly paying for that placement. Think of it more like you're playing the game and it's up to the algorithm's decision of when to play versus bench you. With social media, you're trusting Instagram or TikTok to deliver your content to the right audience. With SEO, you're trusting Google to understand your website and show it to the right people when they search for something. With email marketing, it's like a little bit different because usually you're communicating with an audience you already own or have built, but it does still fall into that bigger organic or owned marketing bucket. You earn the results naturally over time. Now, on the other side, you have paid marketing, aka inorganic marketing. What does inorganic marketing mean? That means that it's something that you are directly paying for to generate more immediate results. This is usually in the form of what most people think of paid ads, like Google PPC or Meta ads, media buying, TikTok ads, Pinterest ad, YouTube ads, or any other sponsored placements online. Instead of waiting for Google or the social media algorithm to naturally show your business, you're now going to pay money to get in front of your target audience. And you're paying for that specific spot, whether it's the first search result or wherever you show up within the ad algorithm. You're paying to show up in someone's feed. You're paying to not just play the game, but to start in the game. Going back to our athlete analogy, paid ads can absolutely be a part of your marketing strategy and marketing mix, but they are different from that organic, because once you stop paying, that traffic or visibility is going to disappear, which we'll talk on later. So the big thing to understand is it's not one that is good and then one that is bad. It's just they serve different purposes. So let's talk about why organic marketing still matters. For organic marketing, just because you have less control over the algorithm does not mean you have no control. That's where paying for experience or guiding in each field is going to yield better results than trying to DIY everything. For social media, email, SEO, etc., there are certain ways to write copy, design content, understand the user behavior, and play into that algorithm that can directly influence your results for the better. Now, you need to build up a very strong organic presence because this is going to build that long-term brand awareness, which you need. It's going to give you customer loyalty and something that you can always fall back on, whether you're running paid ads or not. Organic can help build so much. Because paid ads might get someone to notice you faster, but your organic presence is usually what's going to help them decide if they actually trust you or not. They might see your ad, but then they're going to go check your website. They're going to go look at your social media next. Then they're going to go to your online platforms and read your reviews. They're going to see if you're active, if you're legitimate, and you're clear about what you offer. Now, paid marketing can absolutely be part of the plan too. It just works differently. So, when does paid marketing make sense for you? Deciding to do paid marketing, again, that inorganic marketing, is more optional. Yes, you do have to pay to play, so depending on your marketing budget, it might not be always sustainable for you all of the time. We get it. We're business owners too. And once you stop paying, that traffic is going to fall off, like we mentioned earlier, because you're paying to be in those top spots, usually for a specific campaign. If you built a real social media community though, followed by SEO best practices, added your business to some local online directory listings, collected those reviews, and then created a natural email marketing flow, then if you stop running ads, you still have plenty of other things working for you. If your ads stop, organic can still support you through all of these things. But if you ignore your organic marketing and only ever do inorganic marketing, and say you have to eventually pause the ads because of budget, management, issues, seasonality, or literally anything else, you're going to notice a much sharper drop-off, which some companies do use paid ads to get that initial wave of customers, reviews, or awareness when they're first starting out. Some businesses build up organically first and then add ads later to accelerate what they're already doing. And some businesses are seasonal. Maybe you need to run a specific campaign, do a specific promotion. Paid ads are great for that. There are a lot of great ways to strategically use inorganic marketing. But paid ads are not just magic. Their success also depends on your location, your industry, your competition, your budget, and your offer, your landing page, and how saturated the market is, and how great your product or service is. Your general offer is so important in a paid ad. For example, somebody else's ad budget for your exact same service and keywords might go a lot further than yours just because of where they're located and how competitive their online market is. Paid ad results can depend a lot on all of those things. So, if we were going to simplify all of this, here's what we'd recommend. So, to recap, we'd recommend that all businesses build out that organic marketing mix. No question. That should include multiple parts of the marketing funnel, which we'll talk on in the next episode. It should be custom to your business, your goals, your audience, and your actual ability to keep up with it. It needs to be sustainable. Then, if it makes sense for your business, you can add paid ads on top of those channels to accelerate what you're already doing. Because a successful digital marketing plan is going to look different between businesses. There's no one-size-fits-all answer. Believe me, I wish there was. But your industry matters, your location matters, your audience matters, your budget matters, your competition matters, and your capacity matters. So the goal is not to just do every single marketing task just because someone on the internet told you to. The goal is to understand what options are available to you, what stage your business is in, and what mix makes the most sense for where you are right now with your company. So let's use a flower bouquet business for an example, because this is where people can start to feel like there's no room for them. If you're starting out a flower bouquet business, there's already probably a lot of competition on Google. You should absolutely focus on search engine optimization for your website, but organically ranking higher than a huge company like flowers.com is probably going to take a while. You're not just competing with other local florists who started a year or two before you. You're also competing with all of the companies who have been around for a long time. Time is going to impact things like domain authority. For example, they could have thousands of backlinks and mentions online, and they probably already have a lot of content and brand recognition built up. But do not let this discourage you, imaginary flower bouquet business owner. You're what big competitors may already have. You also have to think it's not just Google. There are lots of flower companies on Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest, and basically every other platform where pretty products do well. So, how are you going to stand out? That's where your marketing mix and your creative strategy is going to come into play. Sure, you might have trouble ranking right away for probably a competitive keyword phrase like Mother's Day flower bouquet. But what is something more specific about your business that you can focus on? Are you local to a specific city? Are you women-owned or family-owned? Do you specialize in a specific type of arrangement? Maybe you have a really specific style or knowledge on a specific type of flower. Do you offer same-day delivery? Do you do event florals? Do you do subscriptions? Or maybe build your own bouquets, maybe seasonal drops? Can you create helpful content around flower care, gift ideas, unique wedding florals, seasonal bouquets, or how to choose the right arrangement for the right occasion? Can you create a punch card system, a referral offer, a local delivery perk? Or if someone mentions a certain code, when they order, they get a discount. Instead of only trying to compete for the obvious, flower bouquet, when someone's typing into Google, try different angles, like same-day flower delivery in blank city and state. Maybe it's modern wedding bouquets in city. Maybe it's how to make fresh flowers last longer. Maybe you call out the specific flower. Maybe best flowers for a sympathy arrangement. Maybe it's seasonal bouquet subscription. Maybe it's locally owned flower shop in blank. The point is, it might feel impossible to succeed in something that's already really competitive. But that does not mean that there's no room for you. It just means you have to think more specifically and more creatively. There is room on Google for niche keywords. There is room on social media for good craft, personality, and uniqueness. There is room in email marketing to stand out in front of past customers before holidays, events, and seasonal moments. And there is room in your customer experience to make people remember you. Because sometimes the things that help you compete is trying not to look exactly like the bigger businesses or what everybody else is doing. It's finding the angle they can't copy as easily. It's your story. That's what's most important. Your style, your angle, your customer experience, and your creativity. There is no one right way to do things, especially in marketing. And sometimes doing it differently than everybody else is exactly what helps you stand out. So remember, there is room for you. And that's really the whole point of the series. In this series, we're going to go through a lot of elements to give you the basics. And I mean, that's literally the name of the series, Back to the Basics. But we also want to stretch your thinking if you're already familiar with the basics of marketing. Because marketing your business is not just about checking off boxes. It's about understanding what options are available, what makes sense for your business, and how to use those tools in a way that actually supports your goals. As a creative marketing company, we're always looking for the angle, the idea, the message, the approach that actually makes sense for the business in front of us that we're working with. And that's what we want to pass along in this series to you. The basics you need to understand what you're doing, plus the creative thinking that helps you do it in a way that actually fits your business. So if you're starting a business, growing your side hustle, or just trying to get a better handle on how to market what you do, we're really excited to have you here. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment if you enjoyed this video. Send this to a fellow business owner who might need some help in the marketing department, especially when it comes to the basics. And if you're from one of our chambers, hi, we're glad you're here. Next episode, we're going to be talking about the marketing mix and the marketing funnel, including some fun acronyms that I love like TOFU, MOFU, and BOFU. So stay tuned and we'll see you in the next episode.